Tutorial for the Rich Girl Budget Planner. We are starting on the instructions page, which basically tells you to watch this video to understand how to use it, and then also has my Instagram and my email. You can also message me on Etsy. I will probably respond on my Instagram the quickest, so that would be the best way to get me if you have any questions. Next, we are having this monthly template. This is kind of like a general template, so the exact months are a little bit more specific, but for example, you would typically budget, what, $240 for your electric, whereas maybe your electric is actually like $220 that month. So this monthly template is just where you're going to put like a general estimate of everything. Some of them change, some of them don't. So one thing I do want to note is there are formulas in here. So for example, your car, you only need to type it in over here and then it'll show up in column J. See how it's at 0 right now? If I type in 750, which is high for a car, I know, it'll pop up as 750 over there. So that's an example of that. All of these are formulas, so you do not need to touch these at all. But I do want to add that this formula is linked to this cell, so you may need to move around car. But if you move car and type in 750 up here for gas, and then you move car there, it's not going to change over there. So make sure that you are putting it in the correct one. You can change car, you can change all that, and it should be all good, but just make sure that you are using the correct line. All of these lines are in here somewhere. And same with the bi-weekly expenses. So pet vet visit is automatically divided by 2 for the bi-weekly cost. But if you were to type in the pet vet visit somewhere else and move pet vet to like savings, then it's gonna mess everything up. So make sure that you keep these. You can change these around. So maybe instead of vet visit, you have doctor visit for yourself. You can do that, and you can change that up here to doctor visit as well. I'm not being super professional here, so forgive me. And then this can be 500. That's a lot as well, but then it automatically changed it to 250. So that is an example of that. This is, like I said, the average one. So these all, the expense and cost total this $34.95. The subscriptions are completely separate and are not anywhere on this list and have a total of $503. The monthly totals, this expenses total is the sum of the expense total and the subscriptions total. So don't add the subscriptions into this expense table, or else it's going to include it twice in this total. The income total is your total of your income. Your investments aren't factored into anything since a lot of those are long-term investments. This is like your 401k, any stocks, real estate, all that stuff. But your income, big girl job, I added TikTok as a side hustle. Someone would be making $8,000 off of that, pretty good. But say you were to add in, I don't know, babysitting, and then you made $200 off of that. That is going to update this to 8,200, which is then going to update this to 8,200. So you can add anything in that table. Same with these, anything in that table, make it your own. And then for the investments, all of these total, this total right here, pretty self-explanatory. Then for debt, we have the main debts. You can add more, you can delete some, make it personal to you. Like I said, if you do change one over here, make sure you change it over here so that it matches your new thing. But I also have the interest rate for each. I have the total owed. So say that your car is $750 a month and your total is $40,000. Then I also have the $8,000 payoff amount. So for a lot of personal loans, it's 30% for the life of the loan. But if you were to pay it off by 3/1, your actual payment would be something like this. So that's just an additional note if you do have something like that. And then I have the total of all of your debt down here. So that's all of this added up. And then lastly, your savings. So I have a high yield savings account. If your savings account is not high yield, you should get one. This is your total of what's in your account right now. And then this total over here next to the interest is your total with the 3.8% added to it. So add your APY, change it up, but this bottom row, the totals are formulas as well. You know that because if you click on it, it says equals. If it says equals anything, then that is a formula. So then we have the key down here. It has the first paycheck, which is these colors. You can change those. Second paycheck, which is these colors, and that just means that typically, on average, you pay it with your bi-weekly paychecks, assuming you get paid twice a week or twice a month. Both means that it's a bi-weekly cost, so you're saving up for a doctor's visit, your savings, your gas, your food. And then automatic means it automatically comes out of your bank account, so you don't have to pay it manually. It just comes out. So let's go over to plan and goals. So I just gave you a quick example. Goals, I prefer to be in like a SMART goal format. This one, I believe, is SMART goal, but look up what a SMART goal is if you don't know. But one of the goals is to have 3 to 6 months of income and emergency savings by October 2025. That is a goal. The plan side is how are you going to make that happen? So the first thing you're going to do is open a high yield savings account. And then the second thing you can do is save 10% of every paycheck. So will that get you to 3 to 6 months of income? Probably not, but it's just for the sake of an example. That's like the action that you would take, and then the goal is over here. Monthly expense template is if you want to go above and beyond and just write everything down that you spend and then everything down that you get. So I have the date that I got paid, the date that TikTok sent me money. Again, these are all examples. And then I also have the date that I spent things. I included notes. So at Sephora, spent $50 on skincare refills. You can also put the account that you spent it on. So if you have a credit card, you can put that was used towards something, your debit card was used towards something. And then at the very bottom, this does have the sums included. So this is the sum of all of this. So anytime you add something, say you add $10 at Walmart, that'll automatically add it to that. Same with your income, is if you add $200 of babysitting, it's going to automatically add it to the bottom. And then you can change the dates, move that around as well. Lastly, we have our February example. This is the specific example, so you get very specific. So for example, I know that rent is not $300 anymore, but say that instead of spending $320, you spent $310. This is where you would change that, whereas on the monthly template, you have $300 budgeted, you ended up spending this exact amount. Student loans, electric, say that instead of spending $200, you ended up spending $190. Water, sewage, same thing can be applied. You're just putting in the exact amount. You can put your exact credit card name so that you don't get those confused. And this is where that goes. So these are not linked to debt because I don't have debt on this one. I do have investments, just I guess for funsies, but I didn't include debt because this is like your exact monthly. It differs from month to month. So you can see all of that on your monthly template, and that's kind of like your master template. Your income, this again adds up. You can add, delete, whatever you want to do. Say we add $500. There's $500. Same with your everything, your subscriptions, everything adds up. I did include paydays on here so that you can put your paydays for this month. Same colors apply. Your total again is everything. Your income total over here is it equals the total of income over here. So whatever you make, it's going to be over there. Your expenses total is going to be your subscription cost plus your expense cost. So the same thing. And then here we have My Lifesaver, someone with ADHD. You have all of your bills. You have the date that it's due. And then you can check off whether you paid it or not. So say that you paid your car. You can check that off. You can also check it off over here. And then you're good to go. That is how you do that. I also broke it down so that you can check it off twice for bi-weekly because you may have to, you put money towards your pet vet visit twice. So you pay it once and then you pay it again that second time. So yeah, that is the full tutorial. Let me know if you have any further questions. I'm happy to help you out any way that you need. Just send me a DM. But yeah, happy saving.